Last time on Knights of the Rolled Table, Gravely, Tiburon, Soot, Jerik, Sarsa, and Sindel led a desperate evacuation of Giacca as it was attacked by a leviathan controlled by Captain Droppov. The refugees are camped at the top of the cliffs, and Soot and Sindel are missing. Now a portal opens up in the camp and two old friends of Gravely step out, Maya and XX Bloody Heart.
Giacca, there's a refugee community that has been putting itself together and surviving up on the cliffs above the town of Giacca, which is partially submerged now with a lot of debris floating about. It's been a few days since the initial tidal wave, and looking down, you haven't seen too much action down in the town. Droppov and his crew have not really been in the town in the first couple of days. Your efforts have been largely focused on taking care of people, setting things up. I mean, actually, I have a thought of what each of your characters would probably be doing, so I'm going to throw that out, and if you want to amend what you'd be doing or just kind of like describe it your way, that would be fine. But I think Sarsa, certainly with the Crescent Squall, able to fly and surveil, has made several sort of rescue missions down into the town and picked up a few stragglers, a few people clinging to debris, even a few people washed out to sea, and maybe been able to pick up a few supplies that were recoverable, and has been going back and forth doing that. I think Gravely's abilities to survive and forage have probably come in very handy in gathering enough food and supplies to support people for the time being. And Tiburon, so we've established that the Bastion has its own kind of like hidden port, and there's an overland route that you all were going to take initially into town, but then a flying ship showed up, so you decided to take that. But there is an overland route you can take from the Bastion's hidden harbor to Giacca, and it takes a while to get there. So I think Tiburon has probably taken groups of survivors over there to receive aid and supplies at the Bastion, and probably brought back some supplies and informed Captain Honeymist of what was going on. So he's made at least one trip there and back and is currently present. So if anybody would like to jump in on kind of like what you might do in the couple of days since then, feel free.
I think Gravely, besides teaching people how to make fires and using survival skills and stuff, has also been catching up with Farah a little bit more, and not, just keeping things professional and friendly, but nothing out of the ordinary yet. But so he's just been like, hey, it's been really good, but this has been a little bit more like getting to know somebody that you haven't seen in a while under a stressful situation.
Yeah. Any other thoughts?
I think Sarsa would probably still be slightly trying to push Jerik towards, once things are kind of settled, going to visit his father.
Mm-hmm.
Visit Hot Daddy Dark Harbor.
Yeah.
I forgot what his dad's name is, so that's what he is now.
Eric. Let's not call him Daddy Dark Harbor. Maybe she does.
Hot Daddy
I suppose
Dark
that's
Harbor,
fine.
please.
Hot Daddy Dark Harbor.
HDDH.
Wait, did you say his dad's name is Eric?
Yeah.
So Jerik and Eric?
I think that's what I named him. I don't know for sure that's actually ever been said.
All right. It's canon now.
So for simplicity, let's say Sarsa and Jerik are off on a recovery mission, keeping an eye out for Droppov and his crew, looking for floating supplies, looking for any survivors. They've maybe been cruising around nearby beaches where people might have washed up. So they are not around. Gravely and Tiburon and A few other refugees are just sort of gathered around a campfire, resting, having a bite to eat, when suddenly a big portal opens, a nice, pleasant, calm, lovely looking one, and out steps two old friends, XX Bloody Heart and Maya.
Hello!
What? Maya? Is
Gravely?
that you?
Yes, it is me. Hello, I am back. It is so good to see you, my friend.
Gravely sees the portal, and his first instinct is, I have to, draw at the ready, and it's a threat or something like that. But then he sees Maya and XX, and he kind of drops his whatever he's got, arrows, and he just runs and gives them both a big hug.
Gravely, you see, we found XX Bloody Heart.
I thought you were dead.
I thought I was dead.
Don't worry, I have rescued Maya. Everything is fine now.
XX, where did you find her? Where have you been?
Oh, it's been a very long story. Confusing at times.
Mr. Stick was a squirrel.
It's true.
It's so good to see you. I thought... It's only been a couple of days, but I knew you were alive. I knew it. I just knew it. I told everyone you were probably somewhere being trapped in it. Wait, were you in the Feywild?
I think so. It was there was a big tree. I was at the big tree of life, and Mr. Stick saved me.
We can all assume everything was fine with the deal that we made with Lady Aranye, and she will not be mad at anything, and we can just continue as if nothing bad is going to happen in the future.
Okay.
Good to see you again, XX Bloody Heart. And he kind of puts out his little orkling hand and gives him like a forearm handshake.
Well, good to see you too. I guess what's happening around here? Looks kind of... This is a big camping trip or something?
Well, as you can see, and he kind of gestures towards Giacca, and it's like, this city, the town of Giacca, was attacked by an elemental and sort of went underwater and took a swim. So this is sort of a refugee camp of all the people, and I mean, all the town is pretty much gone. It's.
So I think as Gravely gestures down into the town, XX Bloody Heart and Maya both see the portal ring that both of you kind of recognize as looking sort of similar down there.
Oh,
to
yeah.
The fire ring.
Okay, do you see that? They kind of go on a little like outcropping of land that, it's almost like a cliff face, but it's safe. And he's like, come over here. And he kind of makes sure that no one is really around because he doesn't want to make people nervous. And he says, see that down there? Does that look familiar to either one of you?
Oh, I think that is a portal.
Yeah, it's just like the one from the fire plane, from the Fire Lord, Charkandris. Except it's different. I mean, maybe it's water-based. I'm not quite sure, but I haven't gone down there yet because we've just been so busy here. But
do you think we should investigate?
Well, we should. I should probably tell our allies. Oh, Maya, there's Is
Sindel still around?
Well, Sindel and Soot were lost.
What do you mean lost? You cannot find them?
There was a lot of water, and I don't think they made it. Sindel was trying to hold off the tidal wave, and Soot, I don't know what happened to Soot.
Oh, no.
He hasn't turned up, so, I mean, I'm hoping maybe that on one of these reconnaissance missions, they'll be found. He'll be found, both of them, but...
We will keep looking.
Yes, I think we should. But we should, if you guys would like something to eat, we've got food and change of clothes.
I have not been eating very much. There is not much to eat in the Feywild, especially when you are, hanging out with a tree and a squirrel.
XX Bloody Heart, would you go in the food tent is right over there. It's like a little canteen. Would you go and grab some food?
Yeah, I'll go grab some stuff. Yeah, I'll be right back.
He waits till XX is out of the way, and he kind of gravely leans into Maya and says, "Listen, I almost forgot that XX wasn't with us when we became knights, and I met 2 other knights.
There were more knights?
Yes.
Hey, did you guys want coffee or just
no. It's whatever's in there. I think there's some jerky.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, there's 2 other knights. There's a tiefling who has some clerical abilities, and she's rather salty, but quite effective. And
I see Scones, but I don't see any rolls or anything else. Is that going to be okay? Or
no, Scones are great. They're good. They're not like hardtack at all.
Okay, great.
Okay, thank you.
Continue whatever you were talking.
Yeah, grab a bunch of them.
Sure.
Well, I do like tieflings. I miss Lewa.
And there's a human man that he's got kind of a gruffy beard and kind of thing, and he's got a talking sword, and they've had a whole adventure, and they know Coach. They worked with Coach for a while.
I miss Coach.
I know, I miss him too, but I mean, apparently he was okay.
I cannot wait to make new friends.
Well, I think they went on a recon mission, but they should be back in a little bit, and well, yes, I now that you're back, I would really like to go check out that marking. Maybe when we had something to eat.
Jeff, while you're in the concessions tent, XX Bloody Heart, maybe you run into Tiburon there? Do a little, maybe actually if you can explain to Carlos kind of what XX Bloody Heart looks like.
Oh, well, if you haven't been to our to see our art, get onto our Instagram at Rolled Table.
Now it can be seen at the Geekly Grind.
Now seen at the Geekly Grind. Well, anyway, XX is a younger person with long black hair that is over his eyes, and he has all black leather armor and 2 black cloaks over him.
I'm sorry, are you literally an edgelord?
Yeah, he is.
Okay.
He is an edgelord.
All right.
And you're not sure, but maybe he's wearing eyeliner, but would he wear it? But also maybe he is.
Got it.
So he's in the provisions tent picking up some scones and stuff, and you see him in there, and you haven't seen him around.
By the briny beard of the sea witch, don't take those scones so quickly.
Oh, sorry, they're for my friends.
Can't you see that there's other people here that need to eat?
Hey, everybody needs to eat. It's not special eating food.
We have rules on the ship, eh? And
This
that
is
rule
not a
says, land is a type of ship. It's a ship we're all on, in a sense.
Are you talking about Spaceship Earth? Is that what you're...
I'm talking about a sea ship, all right? And this here sea ship, I'm in charge of, all right? I helped bake these. I help distribute them. So just take a few. If you're giving them to other people, fair. But don't take them all, all right?
And what if I do decide to take them all? What are you going to do about it?
How old are you, lad?
How old do I look?
A question with a question, I see. Hi. A tricksy one. All right. You look no more than 2 stones old.
Then I'm 2 stones old. You're going to be out like a stone.
Are you trying to get in a fight with me?
It seems like you're trying to get in a fight with me.
Can we skip to outside again with Gravely and Maya, and you just start to hear from the tent?
He's sure taking a long time getting that food. I mean, I've told you everything I needed to say. We better go in there and...
So you start to hear Tiburon cursing from the direction of the scones.
Maya, why don't you come with me?
Okay.
Back to the tent. Things have exploded.
And if you call my mother that again, I will break you over my knee.
Oh, bring it, fish man.
Fish man? I'll show you fish.
Let's do
Wait
it.
a minute. Tiburon, wait. Tiburon, it's me, Gravely. Wait a second. This is a friend. This is an ally.
A friend?
Yeah, well, he was an ally back in Respite in Oakheart, and
so I stopped listening to Gravely seconds into what he was telling me because I do indeed notice that Maya's right there, and it all comes rushing back of how I tried to save her life and she was just completely gone.
Hello.
Maya, and I just go for a big bear hug on her.
Oh, hello. Hi, Tiburon. It is good to see you again.
By the flounders and the seagulls, you're alive!
Oh, well, I don't know that they were involved, but yes, I am alive. I'm still here. Well, I was
What happened?
there, now I am here.
How did you get back? How did you get here?
Oh, well, Mr. Stick saved my life and then took me to a tree, and I woke up and he was a squirrel. Now I have special powers, and the portal opened up and Stevon was there. And that is how it happened.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
You see, I rescued her.
You by yourself?
Well, I had a couple allies, some friends of mine. I was palling around doing jobs for Aranye for a while.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, it was fun.
Can Gravely do an insight check to make sure, like, once he says that, he gets very suspicious of XX Bloody Heart?
Yeah, if you want to roll an inside check, you can.
Yeah. I'm just making sure he's on the up and up. 19. 17
Yep.
plus 2.
He seems totally legit. That it sounds like he's been working for Lady Aranye.
Right.
And it's been fairly chill, apparently.
All right. Well, great. Good that you're still employed, I guess. Well, by the way, the bacon cheddar scones are the best. I think they've got a nice unctuous nature, a lot of good umami.
So you all hang out for a while. Things calm down, and you catch up. And a little bit later in the day, Jerik and Sarsa arrive back in the Crescent Squall 3 and set down and unload a few supplies, odds and ends they've picked up.
Gravely definitely takes Maya over to them, and privately under the quarters, under the deck, they have a little like, look, this is my symbol. Like, this is my symbol. Like, they show off their knight symbols and like, yeah, you guys know Coach.
Ooh. Oh, they're the same. Nice. I think we probably don't need to go through all of the reintroductions that we just recapped to introduce Sarsa and Jerik to everybody.
Maya and XX Bloody Heart, would you like to come down to the town, to that portal thing, and check it out with me?
Yeah, let's see.
Maybe
Okay,
Tiburon.
take a look.
Maybe
All
Tiburon
right,
will come with us.
just be careful down there. All right, it's still a right mess.
Oh, we will. I'll be able to guide them, and we've got Tiburon. He knows the shark. Tiburon, you mind coming with us?
Aye, do we need transportation? I can call my body back.
Well, I think I've kind of scoped out a path that doesn't involve going through the water, so I think we should be all right.
I'm very disappointed. Oh, hi.
But keep your trident handy. You never know.
So I think around that time, Sarsa gets a call on her sending stone that she shares with Eric Dark Harbor, Jerik's father.
Oh,
who's a
Jerik,
prominent
it's your dad. He's calling me on the stone.
Eric, who is a prominent figure in the city of Valentrell, and you know a knight of the realm because he showed up to knight Jerik and Sarsa. So he comes through, and it's kind of staticky, and it sounds like maybe he's been running, and he says,
Sarsa, are you there? I need to speak to Jerik now. Quickly.
Talk to me, all right, Jerik. It's Daddy Dark Harbor.
I've got to get him a message. I've been chasing them. I've been on their tail, but I think I'm too late. Is Jerik there right now? Are you there? I need you to come. I need your help now.
Where are we going?
Been following him. It's already happening. Tell Jerik I need him. I've left an important piece of information in our spot. He'll know what I mean. I've got to.
you hear what sounds like maybe an arrow hitting wood nearby, and then definitely a slash of a sword. You're not really sure who might be the recipient of that, but you hear Eric go,
I've got to go. There's not time. Please, as soon as you can.
and then the signal goes out. And Jerik, who overheard that, says like, "What? I waited too long. So we have to, Sarsa. We have to go. We have to go now."
Gravely, I'm so sorry, but well, you heard. We got to go.
Of course. I mean, it's your father. Yes, we understand.
It was
I think we have to stay here and help out these citizens.
I believe
But
that this town is in good hands with all of you. It was nice meeting you.
of course, perhaps our paths will cross again. But good luck to you. And
Thanks.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have to go. I'm sorry, Gravely, I think probably Jerik takes Gravely's arm in that Knights of the Realm, grasps his symbol, and potentially Sarsa also takes Maya's arm. And Jerik says, "You've got this. I know you can. We'll come back and help as soon as we can."
Thank you. Good luck to you.
Good luck, you lot.
We'll tell Captain Honeymiss that you said your best.
Thank you. Please do that. And Sarsa, we need to go to Emberbrook.
All right. I'll ready the ship.
And they do, and Sarsa and Jerik quickly ready the Crescent Squall, which was already ready for sailing, and they head off.
Intrigue.
So Jerik and Sarsa are off.
I like her. She was very pretty.
Yes, she's interesting. So I think we should go down to the town or what's left of it and check out that portal.
Okay. I am ready
All right.
now.
Follow me. Gravely leads him down to a safe path.
So as you start to head down, maybe like halfway through that, you actually see the Trident come around into view, and has one or two smaller ships along with it. It looks from a distance like its main mast that was damaged when it sailed off of a sudden watery cliff that Captain Honeymist created. It looks to be that's been repaired, but it seems somehow magically repaired. It almost looks like that mast is made of water now. It's shimmery and looks to be translucent, but
the Trident is Captain Dropov's ship, right?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, the bad ship.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody see that? That's Dropov's ship in the distance there.
Ooh, he's a bad guy, right?
Yes, that's the bad guy. He's a sea elf, and he is no good.
Got it. We're looking for the Honey Mist ship. We like Honey Mist.
Right.
Got it.
Well, let's just keep a low profile. Maybe we should sneak in just in case they don't see us. Let's be sneaky.
Ooh, I love being sneaky.
XX
Okay.
bloody hard. We could be sneaky together again.
Yes, finally. I
I
so
could just
great.
go up and say, hello. I mean, maybe it was just a misunderstanding and they didn't mean to kill me.
There's the Maya that we know.
Oh, Maya.
How about let's try to be sneaky, and if they find us, like hide and seek, then you can say hello, okay?
All right.
But for right now, let's pretend we're playing hide and seek and we're hiding.
Okay.
Okay.
So go ahead and roll. Everybody make a stealth roll for
Dirty
your-
20.
Nice.
21.
Nice.
That's a dirty 21.
Maya's been really hidey.
I got a 1.
Oh no.
Oh,
I mean, it makes sense. I'm huge. I'm not really good at stealth.
XX.
13.
13.
Hold on, let me get my cloak of the camel.
They can Well, for the time being, that's kind of a collective role for your ability to be stealthy. But like right away, you don't need to be too hidden because the Trident is far off. But as you kind of like quietly and stealthily make your way down, the Trident sort of pulls up as close as it can to the town, and sailors and crew start getting off of it and kind of like moving into the town. Some on rowboats. About half of his crew appear to be those shark creatures, the sharks with legs, who just like hop right into the water and swim right in. Some others are in boats. There's one particular longboat that has a few crew members that you're pretty sure Droppov is in, and various crew kind of start to climb up on buildings. And generally speaking, they're starting to collect around and nearby the portal in the center of town. And you all kind of hang back and go slowly, but I would say, let's see. We do have a 1 in there. I'm going to have to, let's just keep that in the hopper. So as you go, as you're trying to be stealthy in general, that's kind of what you see.
Is that the guy? Is that the bad guy right there?
Aye, 'tis Droppov himself.
Didn't XX Bloodheart see Droppov in Aranye's court?
Yes, briefly, for a second. He was walking out as you all were walking in.
Like, Gravely wouldn't know that, but I'm just
Right.
reminding Jeff.
XX Bloody Heart
Wait,
may or may
what?
not remember that. So when you, at the very beginning of our XX adventure, when you were summoned to Aranye's court, Droppov was walking out, and he had like a silver diadem crown that he was placing on his head. And so you just kind of like brushed past him, and you all kind of noticed like, there's a guy. So probably
Is he wearing that crown now?
He is, and he was wearing that crown in the image that when he appeared in the sky, he was wearing that too. So I mean, Jeff, you can like roll a check to see how well you remember, or you can just kind of play like either you totally remember him, or you just kind of have a little bit of a like, hey, he looks familiar.
I guess I'll roll to see if XX remembers that too.
Make a perception check for I guess that would actually apply to the first time you saw him to see if you remember enough right now.
Ooh, an 18.
Oh, you do. So Jeff, XX Bloody Heart, You see this guy and you're like, wait a minute, that guy looks kind of familiar. That guy looks kind of like that dude I saw in Aranye's court.
That guy was leaving Aranye's court. He's
Wait,
up
what?
to no good. Yeah. He was leaving as I was coming in.
Uh-oh. That's not good.
It's not good. Anybody who works with Aranye is bad. I mean, except for me, but
But
You
but you. All right. Well, we'll deal with that later. But she's big and scary and a spider.
yeah.
Okay, but he's definitely no good because he works with somebody that I used to work with who's definitely a jerk. So we need to watch out for him.
A lot of politics here, not following it. Let's find someone to kill.
All right. Well, I think the question is, are we being sneaky going in and still trying to check out the portal? Or maybe we should double back to camp and wait until it's nighttime and then come down.
It's tough because I'm very interested in a nighttime. I love the night. It's dark. There's nothing to see.
Yes.
It's great.
Do we see it? Can we figure out what they're doing? Like, are they just looking around looting stuff, or are they?
Yeah, roll perception for that.
Yeah, we need more recon.
8.
7.
Yeah, trying to be sneaky and hiding away. Sure, you can roll also. Anybody who wants to perceive.
That's a 16.
Better Maya with the Maya rolls. So XX Bloody Heart and Gravely, you're really focused on the like staying low, staying stealthy, kind of like peeking around corners. And Maya just like straight up stands up, maybe climbs up on a building, has a good, nice long look at everything. Still is remaining super stealthy because she's just amazing and she rolled well. But she's able to look around and see, like, she can see some pirates kind of on the periphery doing a little bit of looting, looking in places, seeing what they can grab. But for the most part, they do appear to be kind of like gathering up around the portal. And Droppov actually specifically has walked up to just in front of the portal. Definitely looks like they're getting prepared for something.
They are definitely preparing for something. Lots of looting I'm seeing. And look, there is Droppov over there. I think they are going to do something big.
So the portal is like, it's an open portal right now?
It's just a big open circle. The way you found the fire portal initially was the same way. It was just a big open circle until
Like
Sindel
Stargate.
opened it.
Like the Stargate.
Okay,
It's
so
just
it's not
like
like
the
you can
Stargate.
see in and like see that it's going to somewhere else.
Right.
It's just
You could
kind
probably
of
walk
like,
straight through it right now.
Wait, we could walk straight through it?
Not you, but
But the
one,
people down
if
there.
you walked up to it.
How big is it? Is it like really big, like a car could go through, or like just one person?
Yes, it's about 10 feet in diameter, so it is roughly car size. Could walk through.
Are we talking like a Lincoln Continental or more like a Toyota
Like
Camry
a Fit?
or
What are we talking? Yeah, Honda Fit.
yeah, like
not-
Like Fit or something.
Not many cars are
Like a
wider than
Prius
10 feet
C.
across. I think any of them could make it in. Probably not a bus.
like a Humvee 3?
No, definitely not.
The 3 was a little bit smaller.
Yeah, that was the
PH3.
compact one.
Yeah, that
Maybe.
was
The
Maybe
first
just
one was
barely.
the big one.
probably not the 2.
Anyway, so you're a little ways away from that, but Maya's able to like pop up and get a pretty good view, and she kind of comes down and tells you the update that they seem to be gathered up. And you kind of like move around a little bit to get a little bit more of a vantage point on what's going on. And Drop-Off's in front of the portal, and he's holding his big, heavy crossbow in front of him. sort of speaks to some of his crew that are gathered around and says, "Well, this is what many of us have been waiting for, and well, let's get to it, shall we?" And he looks off away from the portal out towards the sea, and from a blue stone in the center of his diadem that he is still wearing, a blue beam shoots out to the ocean, and out in the ocean, a big pillar of water rises up, and out of this pillar of water forms the Leviathan, which in this kind of calmer form, it's not creating a tidal wave, it's just sort of rising up, and it really, for the most part, looks like a dragon, but literally entirely made of ocean and made of the ocean water. And this beam sort of like shoots out to that, and the Leviathan looks back at Droppov, and it opens its mouth and shoots out from its mouth its own sort of like beam. It looks like a big sort of like whirlpool of water that goes and hits the portal and fills it with a swirl of water. That goes on for a little bit, and then it kind of closes its mouth and stops, and that swirl of water remains in this portal that seems to be activated now, which is, by the way, about like halfway submerged still. So it's like the first 5 feet of it is in water. The top 5 is open air. So Droppov is actually standing largely submerged where he is as the portal swirls there for a moment, and the first thing that emerges out of it is a squintillion, which is it's one of those squid creatures that you fought back on the island, and it sort of wiggles out of there, and then a second one comes out behind it, and the two of those take flanking positions on either side of the portal. They look to be sort of like a forward guard or something.
This is not good.
Gross.
And then another creature emerges, very large in stature, wearing ornate armor. It is blue. It appears to be male. Everyone sort of like bows down a little bit. The squintillions both bow their heads down a little bit, and Droppov gives kind of like a curt head nod as he comes in, and he walks forward, and this large imposing figure sort of nods back to Droppov. Behind that figure, a few more smaller creatures walk in that look to be look a little bit similar to Droppov. They might be sea elves, or they might be some sort of not quite of this world sort of creature. And Droppov looks up at this imposing figure that has walked in and says,
as soon as the guy comes through, the big blue guy, or the big middle guy, Gravely takes out his pocket watch of second chance.
Yeah, you get out your clock. What was it called?
Pocket
Watch.
But right before you click it, what you see is Droppov announces, Lord Aquilius, Lord of the Water Realm. And he levels his heavy crossbow, and he fires. He fires into this lord, apparently Lord Aquilius, that has just been summoned from the Water Realm.
Ooh, twist.
That is no way to start a friendship.
All right, so I put away my pocket watch.
Yeah,
I
you're
have
like
second thoughts about that.
finger on the pocket watch right there, and you're like,
Wait a second, why did he shoot him? What is going
Ooh,
on?
this is getting good. Pop some popcorn, guys. Nom.
Do you have any more clotted cream?
Yeah, here, take one of the butter, the bacon cheddar scones.
Tiburon, have you seen this person before? Do you know who this is?
I've heard tell tales of Aquilus, but I've never witnessed it with my own eyes before.
Gravely would be looking for Bashir, for the Drow Ranger.
yeah, you're definitely scanning for him, and you do not see him anywhere out there.
All right.
Back to the moment. Droppov fires his weapon. So Droppov is a skilled assassin, and when this happens, I think Gravely for sure, Maya potentially too. I think everybody who saw it before has a quick flashback to what happened to Maya and knows pretty confidently that was Droppov that assassinated Maya. And he's doing it again here, but you're not the target. So altogether, his first heavy strike does 60 damage.
All right. Okay.
And everyone looks extremely surprised, but his crossbow quickly clicks into the next bolt, and he fires again. So that one did 53 damage. In this third shot, he does 34 damage and also knocks Lord Aqualius 10 feet back, where he falls to the ground, thoroughly dead.
Does his crossbow have like 3 strings on it? Or how does that work mechanically? To like take off 3 shots and...
Honestly, I described him heavy crossbow earlier in the season, so I was kind of like stuck to it. And we described it as very much like it has some sort of like fancy, like it automatically like reloads itself real quick. But so it's got attachments and scopes and things and looks awesome. But what I ended up doing is actually just giving him longbow stats. So it actually does a little bit less damage, but he can reload real quick.
This is someone you wouldn't want to go play paintball with, is what you're saying. That's
yeah,
what
he's pretty intense. This is the intense guys who do paintball like weekly.
Yeah.
So Droppov turns towards this Lord of Water and fires off these 3 heavy crossbow bolts in rapid succession. Thump, thump, thump. And he goes down. The last one throws him back about 10 feet, almost to the entrance of the portal, amidst several of his troops who are all looking down at him, and the 2 squintillions are looking down at him and then turn back to Droppov, a little bit stunned, but kind of... They're definitely troops, and they're definitely like arms at the ready, and Droppov looks at them and says,
"By the rights of succession laid out in the Platinum Accords, I, Eeling Droppov, claim the domain and territory of Lord Aqualius."
And the water troops kind of like look at each other and look back, and then they bow their heads down. Hello, Knights of the Roll Table. A couple announcements for you today. Really 2 specific announcements. First, and most importantly, there's a new podcast out in the world, and you should check it out. It's called Comic Book Keepers, and one of the hosts is our own Chris Daly, who plays Gravely and was the DM for Season 2. He and Lance from the Geekly Grind are talking about comic books, comic book histories, breaking down heroes and villains and superhero teams each week, and you should check it out. You can download, there's a couple episodes up, you can download wherever you're listening to this, I'm sure. But also you can go to thegeeklygrind.com, which now has a podcast tab at the top, and if you click on it, you'll see a little tab for Knights of the Roll Table and a new tab for Comic Book Keepers, so there's a little trailer there. Definitely check that out, and we'll have Chris talk about that sometime soon. Second, I just wanted to mention that on iTunes, we received our first not 5-star review this week, and I just wanted to take a second to talk about that a little bit. It's from Inverted Zebra, who actually enjoys the show a lot, thinks it's really funny, has listened to the entirety of Season 1 and a few episodes of Season 2, but just can't stand the name XX Bloody Heart. They say it totally breaks their immersion, takes them out of it. And you know what we have to say to that, Inverted Zebra? We think that that's fair. No, that's totally fair. Yeah, you called it. It's a ridiculous name, and you can hear us feeling like it's a ridiculous name all the way until we thoroughly fell in love with it. Inverted Zebra actually gave it 3 out of 5 stars and was generally complimentary, so we will take that feedback with pleasure. You know what, Jeff Frank? He's kind of like green olives. Like, people have strong opinions about green olives. People aren't like meh about green olives. You either just love them, can't get enough, or you absolutely would not be caught dead eating a green olive. They're terrible. So that's kind of Jeff Frank's humor, and we love him for his entirety. And eventually we fell in love with the name too. And to us, it doesn't sound absolutely ridiculous anymore. A couple things I also really love about this review. One is that whenever somebody tries to write out the name XX Bloody Heart, they inevitably end up with the little heart emojis. Cute little, like, this one has 2 little pink hearts. It's just adorable. And that would drive XX Bloody Heart absolutely crazy if he saw that. 2 is that I love that this person has listened to Season 1 and the beginning of Season 2. Because in their future, they can get through all of Season 2 and most of Season 3 and not have XX Bloody Heart mentioned barely at all. He's not there. Their rage will be severely tamped down until just 2 episodes ago when it would have been fired up again with our all XX episodes. And if they made it through that now, Inverted Zebra, you can hear this response and hear our appreciation for you for giving us some feedback and rating us on iTunes. So everybody, please go ahead. If you want to weigh in on your own thoughts about the podcast, give us a review on iTunes or wherever else. Check us out. Say hi to us on Twitter at Rolled Table. Check out the art on Instagram at Rolled Table. We have a Discord where you can sign up and come say hi. And you can visit us on the Geekly Grind and see all sorts of the art, player bios, character bios, and good stuff on there. So thank you, everybody. Thank you for the support. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. And make life an adventure. And then they bow their heads down. And then all of Dropov's crews start to cheer and hoot and holler and actually launch immediately into just kind of like going throughout the town and looking for loot and looking for treasure.
That is going to be a problem.
What is happening? Did he just take out the person that he summoned?
Well, he said laws of succession, so it must be that if you kill the person that is in charge, you get all of their stuff. And in this case, that means all of those creatures now answer to him.
But he mentioned something like platinum accords. What does that mean?
You know, XX Bloody Heart, you are quite... you always seem like you are very excited to kill people. Do you think you could do that?
I don't have a crossbow like that.
Look, this guy is very big time, and he's surrounded by 2 of those crazy things. We fought one of them, and it was enough to almost kill Maya, and he's got 2 plus all of his other henchmen and whatnot. Like, we are way outnumbered. We are out of our league. We can't go in there frontal assault right now.
Suddenly, Tiburon did have that 1 roll, so Tiburon takes a step backwards to kind of quietly back away, and you're all standing in about a foot of water. You're like right at the water level. There's buildings and debris that are kind of up above the water level, but because you're kind of crouched down and low, most of you are in just like boot deep water. And he takes a step back, and that 1 on a stealth roll, he just trips and just like crashes into the water with a huge splash.
Blister and barnacles!
And all of you kind of like freeze and look at him, and then like just sort of like keep completely still to see if anybody's going to respond. And it doesn't seem like anybody does. So you kind of go back and continue to watch things. And then...
Do they just leave me in the water?
Well, you can... No, you stand back up. You're only in a foot of water. You're not like drowning.
No, back down.
If you're going to fall, stay down. No, but so there's a moment. It seems like, okay, all right, nobody heard. It seems okay. And then, Tiburon, make a Constitution saving throw.
Oh, boy. Okay, 15.
Ooh, you are successful, but you will take a little bit of damage.
It was cold water, so.
Yeah. So you're going to take 6 damage.
Yes.
And you look down, and there's a giant eel that tried to wrap itself around your leg.
Yeah! What the heck is that?
And everybody roll initiative. All right, initiative has been rolled. So Tiburon looks down and sees not just this eel, but you have a sense that it just tried to electrocute you, but you only just felt a little bit of a tingle. You kind of jerked away from it right before it was able to discharge its electricity. So that's concerning. And he kind of like yelps. Also, in that surprise, as you all look down at the water, a longbow arrow shoots out towards Gravely. Gravely, that's a 17 to hit.
That hits.
So you're going to take 17 damage from that. And then another longbow shot. A 13.
Yeah, that misses.
So 1 hits you on the side as you are looking towards Tiburon. A second one whizzes by your head. And you look up towards that. And there's Bashir with a longbow pointed right at you, saying,
Hey, Gravely, did you miss me?
Ugh! You're not getting away this time.
So XX Bloody Heart rolled very well. They got that. So 2 of them got that surprise round on you. It is XX Bloody Heart's turn.
Where is Bashir? He's above us on
Bashir
something?
is up on a building, shooting down at you. There's an eel in the water, and that's all you've noticed so far.
Do I see a way to get up onto that building, either from straight ahead or around to the side?
Yeah, you could try either of those. It takes some climbing. By the end, it's not going to be like sneaky or surprising, but by the end of your turn, you could probably get up to him by the end of your movement.
Could I try and do it sneaky? I love sneaky.
With what purpose?
To sneak. For stealth. For stabbing.
Stealth for reasons.
For
So-
sneak attack damage.
Mechanically, if you took your turn to hide and if you moved towards him and used your action to hide, then you could potentially pull off sneak attack next time if you got up behind.
Yeah, so let's do that. I'll kind of try and go straight on to get like under the building so he can't see me, and then sneak around to the side and then try and climb up on a gutter or a garden vine or something.
Okay.
You want a stealth check for that?
Yes.
Oh, that's a 25, my friend.
Oh, dang. He just disappears, melts into the water. Everybody's looking one way, he's going the other way. Everybody thinks he's going to go that way, he's going a different way, and just suddenly XX Bloody Heart is gone. Nobody saw what happened. You're thinking, where'd he go? Did he run? I don't know. XX Bloody Heart has disappeared. And next in the order is the eel. Eels are wrapped up with Tiburon. It's going to try to bite you. And it rolled a 19 on a bite attack.
Oof. Yeah, that hits.
You're going to take 10 damage of biting. It's going to try to bite you again. But it rolled an 8. So one good chomp. And you take a good amount of damage and kind of tear it off of you. And it doesn't get snaps at your hand. But it does not get you that second time. And then next up is someone you've not perceived yet. So from a different building on the other side from Bashir, an acid arrow shoots out. A shimmering green arrow streaks toward a target. Rolled a 15 at Maya. Maya, what's your AC?
Oh, definitely not 15.
You can take some acid damage.
Oh, joy.
4, 5, 7. D4s are so unsatisfying to roll. All right, so you take 7 acid damage, and there's still acid on you, burning your skin. And there appears to be something that can fire magical arrows from the other side, opposite from Bashir. And now it's Gravely's turn.
Did I perceive what shot that other arrow? Like where it came from?
It was 2 shots from Bashir.
Oh, the acid arrow too?
No, that was from somebody on another building on the opposite side from Bashir.
Yeah.
So if you're facing Bashir, it's behind you.
Okay. Laser focused on... I don't know what a laser is. I'm whip smart focused on Bashir, my old enemy, and so I'm going to use a bonus action to cast Hunter's Mark, and then I will shoot him with my longbow. 9 plus 10 is 19 to hit.
Hit.
Now, he is a drow.
Yes.
He's a dark elf, so that's one of my favorite enemies, and I now have plus 4 additional damage, so that's going to be 17 points of piercing damage.
Ouch. You hit him. Arrgh!
And because it's Hunter's Mark, it's also plus d6, so that's additional 2, and it's going to be a lightning arrow. So
I forgot about those.
because it's a quiver of elemental, so I say thundercrack or something like that. I forget what those. And then is that just like d6 elemental damage?
I don't remember. I think it's that it changes your type of damage that you do to lightning. So if something's vulnerable to a certain element, you can use it. But I don't think it was extra damage.
Oh, okay, so it's just lightning damage, but it's 19 points of lightning damage then. And then I'm going to shoot him again. So that'll be 17 to hit.
Hit.
14 points of fire damage. Flame on! And I'll use any movement I have to get in a advantageous position to see both Bashir and whatever shot that other arrow.
Okay, you can scramble off up onto some other debris where you can get a little bit of it. They're a little bit kind of like on either side of your vision, but you can see both of them, and you see that there's actually 2 figures up where the acid arrow came from. There's 2 figures up on a building over there.
Okay, that's my turn.
That second figure up there actually goes next. He jumps down into where you can see him, jumps towards Tiburon. This is a great big human with a long sword who's wearing an eye patch.
Some sort of pirate?
Yes, very piratey looking. They all have kind of the pirate thing going on. 12 to hit. Slashes once at hit with his long sword. Misses, I assume, and then, definitely hits. That's a 23 to hit.
Oh yeah, that hits.
It's going to do 9 slashing damage.
Hey, Tiburon, look out! Those guys look dangerous.
Make a strength saving throw, Tiburon.
12.
So he actually slices down with his second strike, tries to hit your trident out of your grip, but you're able to hold on to it. 14. Maya's turn.
So, just to clarify, there's Bashir, who's like above us on like a platform.
Yes.
How far up is he?
It's not really a platform. He's up on the top of a building, 8 or 9 feet up, and maybe 15 feet away from where you're standing.
Okay.
With acid going on.
Okay, so he's in one direction, and then, like, I'm guessing, like, opposite side of us. Is it one guy or two guy that's up on that building?
There's the person that shot you with an arrow, and then presumably, I don't know if Maya would be totally sure, but a different person just jumped down from that position and attacked Tiburon.
Well, I recognize Bashir. Hello, this guy again. I'll cast Hex on him, and
Yes.
we'll give him disadvantage on Dex.
Okay.
Then I'll go ahead and Eldritch Blast. So it'll be a 16 to hit. There we go. And a 12 to hit.
Hit and miss.
4 damage plus 5 necrotic damage, so a total of 9 damage.
Okay.
And he now has disadvantage on his Dex.
And Gravely says, "Ha-ha, Maya's back, you're in for it!"
That will conclude my turn.
Tiburon.
All right. Am I still holding on to the eel?
You didn't keep a hold on the eel. You just kind of pulled it off of you. So
Aw.
there's an eel around your feet, and there's this other pirate dude with a sword that is close up to you,
Got it.
engaged with you.
Okay. Well, since he's engaged with me, I'm going to go ahead and attack him. 21.
Hit. Sweet.
5. And attack him again.
Yeah, fighter.
15.
That will miss.
Ah,
So are you a two-handed fighting style
I am, yes.
fighter?
Yes.
Okay. So I believe you have an extra attack, and then as a bonus action, you also make that attack.
Oh.
Which means you can do one more, and then you still have movement. But
Okay.
if you moved away from him, he'd get actually, both he and the eel would get opportunity attacks.
And the eel. Oh, man.
Yeah.
Okay. Third time's the charm. So I'll go for the third one. Nice. All right. This one's 20.
Hit.
Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right. 9.
So you are good old classic sword fighting with this pirate as this eel swims around both of your feet. There's clashing of steel. Your scimitars are slashing around. Brings us to Bashir's turn. Importantly, kind of context for this situation, all of you kind of had you immediately kind of launched into defense attack back fighting mode, but you were kind of like, there's a lot more than these 4 people around. You're still in this town that is covered with pirates who are looting, and Droppov, who just assassinated this dude, and the 2 Squintillions, and various water troops that are starting to emerge from this portal.
I'm starting to make me think that context might be important.
Well, I figured we kind of launched into it, and I figured, in the first 6 seconds, you probably just do what you do, but that is context for, exactly how you want to handle this fight. I was gravely looking, since you have the hunter's mark on Bashir, you do notice he has a horn, on a strap over his shoulder that definitely looks like he could use to alert people. Bashir pulls out that horn, picks it up, puts his longbow away, and picks up that horn and blows it.
Before he does that, I say, "Wait! You're gonna call for reinforcements? You big crybaby? Yeah, you think you're gonna do that?" And I'm gonna make my cloak of billow in the wind and will say, "Fight me before you call for your goons' friends." And I'm gonna try to persuade him to not do that.
All right, roll persuasion for that.
Persuasion's
Cloak of
terrible.
billowing.
Cloak of billowing. I have a negative
Only you
1.
had the green candle.
Persuasion.
He lifts up this horn right to his lips. It's like an inch away from his lips, and you yell that.
Yeah.
And he's definitely looking at this little orkling down there with the billowing cloak going like,
Well, I rolled a 6, and it's a -1 to persuasion, so we got 5.
But it was billowing. Yeah, he looks down at you,
Do I get
and
advantage because of the billowing?
I'm not going to give you advantage because of the billowing. It is not quite that impressive. Maybe if you were backlit, maybe if lighting was a little better, but it didn't quite pull it off.
Duly noted.
Like if you were lit green and you had the green candle.
I didn't
You
buy
should have
the
had
green
the green
candle.
Oh,
You're not
That's
there,
a green
Phil.
Jerik has a green candle, and I think Carol has a green candle. Gravely is without a green candle. Anyway, yeah, Bashir looks down at you for a second and just kind of like rolls his eyes and blows this horn.
Well, a lot of good that cloak did.
no
and
refunds.
you don't quite have time to like survey what might happen in response to that big horn he blew, but you imagine it's not going to be great for you. And then Bashir falls back out of the sight of the group that's down on the ground. So that's his turn. Actually, you know what? Make a dexterity roll since he has impaired dexterity. Yeah, all right. So Bashir blows the horn and then disappears from your view, but then you hear a it sounds like he might have tripped or something didn't quite go well with that, but he was out of view, and that will take us back to XX Bloody Heart, who is hidden from view heading up that way.
Okay, do I have an eye line on Bashir?
I would say from probably where you are, you're hidden within this turn. You're climbing up onto the roof, and there's nobody up on the roof, but that's only like half your movement.
Okay.
So you also would have heard him both blow the horn and then like fall off of something.
All right, I want to run to where I think he might have jumped off or something, and then just take a look down to kind of see where he is or where he's going.
Yeah, so you look down there on the other side of this building, which there's another building. There's like a 6-foot gap between this building and another building, and you look down, and he's definitely down there, like splashing back up onto his feet in kind of like an alleyway. He's already kind of like got some feet underneath him running. It looks like he probably tried to jump to this other building, and he didn't make it.
Okay, follow me here. Here's what I want to do. I'm going to take out my hoops of teleport, and I'm going to take one, I'm going to turn them on, and I'm going to take one, and I want to throw it into the air directly above me as high as I can.
Oh,
and
yes.
with the other one,
Do it.
I want to jump down on him and put that hoop over him so that he will transport through the hoop to the one that is assumably 20 feet or so, 10 feet, I don't know how hard I could throw, 10 feet in the air, and he will fall again a very long ways.
You're throwing one up
Yes.
at the
Into
same
the
time
sky.
as you're jumping down, trying to land on him with the other one so that he'll fall out of the one that's above your head
When it's at its apex, yes.
back onto the top of the roof.
He's ring tossing
Yeah.
Bashir, and then he's throwing the other one up in the air.
Right. Okay. I'm going to have you make 2 dexterity checks for that. One for throwing the thing up, and then a second one for... I would say second one's going to have to be at disadvantage, not for necessarily getting it onto Bashir, but like timing it right. The like juggling move of timing it right so that you land on Bashir before the first one hits the ground.
So one dex check straight up.
Yeah.
Okay, the first one was 16. The second one, disadvantage?
Yeah.
Oh, 8.
Ooh. You throw the first hoop up into the air, which again, anybody looking up at where Bashir was sees that hoop, which is, I think, I don't know, the orange one.
Yeah, it's the orange
we
one,
said
yeah.
they're blue and orange.
Yep.
They see that hoop flying up and are like, oh, XX Bloody Heart. And then you jump down on Bashir and you do land on him, but by the time you land on him, that first hoop is on the ground. So he just like pops out of it. And he's back where he left, up on top of the roof, and now you're down in the alleyway.
Do I have any movement left?
He looks super confused. No, I'd say that's probably your movement.
Shoot.
The climbing up, running over the roof. Well,
Can
I'll
it just
give you
like
its
can it just
regular
like
movement?
poop him out like from the air, like goes like right up like a Mario character, like you know, he just kind of pops up and like what the?
Yeah, basically, he's very disoriented, has no idea. It's as if the amount of time he spent jumping down and falling out a roof just didn't happen, and he jumped backwards to like, how am I still here? But XX Bloody Heart, so that was all your regular movement, but you do have your cunning action if you wanted to like dash with it and move some more, or do a different cunning action move.
Here's what I want to do. With the portal still open, I just want to kind of punch him in the face and then turn off the hoops.
All right, roll that attack. You can roll a regular attack, and then unarmed is just like it's like 1 plus strength.
So then that would be 17.
Hit.
What's the damage?
It's your strength plus like 1 damage, I think, is the default unarmed.
Okay, so 3 damage. And I go, XX gang, and then turn it off.
All right. He looks down at this hoop, which he assumes must have had something. Actually, you know what? He picks up the hoop, figuring like this must have had something to do with what I did, and then your fist comes out of it, punches him in the nose. It says XX gang, and then it turns off. So he's just holding the hoop for another 3 damage. Sheer. Very confused.
Shenanigans!
Perfect.
That was amazing. That deserves a round of applause. Well done, Jeff. Well done with the hoop.
Thank you. I aim to distract, disorient, and generally cause
The
confusion.
hoop from season 1, ladies and gentlemen.
You're the edge lord that we need.
All right, so we're going back to this giant lightning eel at Tiburon's feet. It looks like it's been able to recharge. You're going to make another Constitution saving throw.
That is 16.
Save again, so you will not be electrocuted. 9 more damage, but you're not stunned or anything. And then the eel swims off towards Maya, which, if you want to take a swing at it, you can as an attack of opportunity.
Yeah. I'll definitely take an attack of opportunity. Blip. Nat 1.
Ooh, that's a miss. So it wriggles off in the water. Brings us to Pirate Wizard. From that wizard up there, another acid arrow shoots out at Maya. You're still burning from the previous acid. Only a 10, so this acid arrow streaks out and misses you. You hear it sizzle into the water, but you are still burning from the previous acid. You're going to take 3 points of acid damage from the previous arrow, but that seems to be the extent of the acid that's on you. You're kind of like, seems to be fizzling out. That wizard ducks back down, so it's not visible, and that takes us to Gravely.
How far away is Bashir right now?
So you can't see him quite where he landed. He's not exactly there. You did hear a lot. You saw the hoop shoot up. You might make a perception check for actually how much you're able to reason out where he is.
I have advantage because of Hunter's Mark.
All right.
That's a 22.
Based on kind of where the hoop flew up and what you heard after that, and the punching and the XX Bloody Heart yelling XX gang, you're pretty confident he's still up on that roof, but just a little bit out of your visual range. So you got up a little bit higher, so he's in all probably 6 to 8 feet elevated above you and about 15 feet away from you.
All right, I want to try to use my movement to get higher where I could see him on anything like a wagon, rubble. If there's any way I can elevate myself within my distance to see him even just a little bit.
Yeah, so you could run towards, kind of follow the route that XX Bloody Heart ran to get up onto the building, or you could run backwards. It kind of elevates as you back up, so you could kind of like run away from the fray and get up on something a little farther back where you could probably see him.
I'll do that.
Okay.
I'll run back, but then get higher.
Yeah, so you run back, use your movement, and you can clamber up onto something where you're able to see him up there.
All right, and then I will attack him
holding this hoop
twice with my longbow. These are going to be fire arrows, I guess. Flame on! 17 to hit.
Hit.
Is a 19 to hit.
Also a hit.
Okay. First one is 19.
So on the first one, you see him kind of like raise a hand up, and it, as the fire arrow shoots toward him, you see it fizzle out a little bit as it approaches him. Seems like it did a little bit less damage. because he absorbed a little bit of the damage, which will actually give him fire resistance to both of these. So both of the arrows will be half damage.
So the second one does 19 damage as well.
So those 2 fire arrows streak out. You see them both get absorbed a little bit as he absorbs some of the elements. But when that second arrow hits him, he takes it right in the chest and he collapses up there on the roof. Does not seem to be moving.
If I have any movement left, I will try to make my way back.
Nope, I think you're where you are. You have a pretty good view of everything. You don't see XX Bloody Heart, who just disappeared a while back at the beginning of the fight. You do see Maya, you see Tiburon. You probably can't quite see where that eel is. You see the pirate fighting Tiburon, and you have a good view of the wizard up on the roof.
All right, I'll stay where I am, and my cloak billows a little bit in confidence and
it does.
Proudness.
Very impressive. Much more impressive than the first time. That will bring us to the pirate fighting Tiburon. Oh, actually, you know what, Gravely, when you survey the battlefield, you see 2 more pirates climbing up towards the fight in a place where the others probably couldn't see, but there's starting to be a response to that horn.
Everybody look out, there's more coming!
So the first mate fighting Tiburon will again attack with his long sword. First hit, 9. Not gonna do it.
Nope.
Second hit, 13.
Nah.
Oh, definitely squish out of the way. First one way, then the other way. Laugh defiantly. That's all this guy does. Moving on to Maya. Maya, it's your turn.
Yay! So I see.
You definitely have some sense that there's a giant electric eel headed towards you.
Yeah, I don't really want that to happen. How far away is that eel?
Realistically, it's probably up on you. It wasn't able to attack, but it's within 5 feet of you.
I'm going to go, eel's delicious! And I'm going to reach out and try to grab it and use my vampiric touch ability on it.
It was that or you're going to make friends with it. All right, what's vampiric touch? Try to suck its life out?
Yeah, basically. So I have to make a spell attack.
So roll vampiric touch.
That's going to be a 20. It's a dirty 20, but it is a 20.
That's going to hit.
8 necrotic damage, and I heal 4 hit points.
And so that's a concentration spell. You can keep that on it for a while, right?
Yeah. I'm going to keep sucking on this eel.
You just grab onto an electric eel. That could be concerning for later, but it's okay for now. Is that your turn?
Yeah.
Tiburon's up.
All right, round 2. That is a 15.
To do what? Oh, to fight this guy.
Oh, yes.
All right, a 15 misses.
All right.
He parries with his long sword.
Got it.
You got some more attacks, though.
I'm going in for another one. 16.
Hit.
Nice. Oh, yeah. We got a 10 damage.
Wow. He looks real bad. You cut deeply with that second strike. His longsword is not available to parry.
Is he looking in a pretty bad state?
Very bad.
Is that the wizard?
That is the pirate.
Pirate guy.
I believe I can take an action surge and go for a third attack here.
You can just do your bonus action extra attack.
Okay.
That's your offhand attack.
Then I shall do that. Just 14.
Miss. So yeah, if you wanted to, you could action surge, which would give you 2 more attacks.
Oh, hell yeah. Let's do it. 12.
Miss.
Yeah. All right,
More
come on.
chance.
9.
Oh. So 5 attacks, 1 a parry from the pirate, 1 slashes deeply, and that just invigorates Tiburon to continue slashing and cutting and stabbing, but they all definitely cling off his chainmail armor or are parried by his sword. But he is just stumbling. His eyes don't look very focused. He is in very bad shape.
Why won't you die?
He says. That would take us back to Bashir, non-responsive. That brings us back to the eel. Eel is recharging. Oh, it actually does it. It does not get this charging ability every turn unless it's successful in recharging. And it was. Maya, make a constitution saving throw. Eventually, this eel's going to electrocute somebody.
Oh no, that's a 9. Okay, I want to use. Can I use my lucky now?
Oh, yeah, you can use it.
It's an 11.
Same result. You're holding onto this eel, trying to suck the life out of it, and it electrocutes you because it's an electric eel. You are going to take 7, 8, 9, 10 damage, electrical damage, and you are stunned. So let me read the stunning criteria. A stunned creature is incapacitated, can't move, and can speak only falteringly. The creature automatically fails strength and dexterity saving throws. Attack rolls against the creature have advantage. You being the creature, but that doesn't affect Constitution, so yes, do a Constitution save to try to keep that vampiric touch active.
That's an 18.
It is. It remains active. You keep a hold of this eel as it electrocutes you. As you're doing that, the two new pirates climbing out towards you arrive on the scene so everybody can see them, but they have not yet taken their turn. Definitely a sense that more might be coming, and that will bring us to... Oh, I skipped XX Bloody Heart. XX Bloody Heart, it's your turn. You are in an alleyway.
Not for long. I'm going to open up the portal again and... Well, let's see. I can't get it back if I do that. I want to get my other one back from the roof.
Yeah, you just have to climb up there and get it.
I'll climb up there and get it. And then take a look around and see where everybody is and kind of assess the situation. See if we should bail or stick it out or see... Just kind of get a situational awareness.
Roll perception from up there. You reunite your hoops. Click, click.
You guys are the real heroes. 18.
You see Bashir up there, collapsed on the ground, smoking slightly from the fire damage.
Yeah.
You see the two new pirates arriving on the scene. You see the eel. You see the general melee. A quick kind of surveying of that scene would be like, you guys could probably take this current group, but you definitely look out wider at the kind of like area of the town and everything else going on, and you can see definitely like everybody heard the horn and there's movement. Some people are moving away, some people are moving towards. It's going to get complicated pretty fast.
All right, I will go over to the edge where I can see everybody, and I'll just say, guys, we gotta go, get out of here.
Hey, this is Chris,
And Lance.
asking you to check out our new podcast, Comic Book Keepers.
Join us as we delve deep into comic lore to uncover the history behind a wide variety of comic book characters. Doesn't make sense, but it sounds awesome.
It's comic physics. Each episode will feature one hero, villain, team, or ensemble, and break down what makes these heroes super.
We'll give you recommendations on what storylines to read.
If you're going to read one Joker story, this might be it. Explain how characters were created.
And the publisher said it was the worst thing he had ever heard. Discuss adaptations, costumes, and answer comic fandom's what-if questions.
If we were to make a new turtle, what would they look like? And of course, the important question, what color would their headband be? Yeah, and spoiler alert, these conversations can get pretty nerdy. He can't die. He's basically Highlander that can fly, you know, with like huge muscles. And he's been around so long, and he was Abraham Lincoln.
Abraham Lincoln. This is Comic Book Keepers.